everybody! So I had kind of a strange experience yesterday, and it kind of ruined my day. I found a haunted painting on YouTube. I did not even know that was possible, and here's the weird part. The person who had the painting, she gets haunted all the time. I don't think she's ever been haunted by whatever was attached to the painting because she never made a video about it. She always makes videos about stuff, especially paranormal stuff. So I was having a very hard day yesterday. That was the day that I filmed my How to Stop Panic Attacks video for my other channel. And reading all of those posts about people who suffer from anxiety and then remembering about my own anxiety and responding, telling stories about, I mean, it made it even worse. And then there's the fact that earlier that, no, it was the night before, I found out that I was supposed to give a speech at my Toastmasters International meeting, and I was so distracted by that I couldn't focus on this anxiety video that I wanted to do to try and help people out. So I had both of them on my mind. I couldn't concentrate on either to actually do them, and I ended up having to say no to the Toastmasters thing so then I could do the video. And of course that made me even more anxious. I mean, I was having to use this technique the entire video just to do the video because I was just feeling that nervous and anxious in spite of the fact that I've done tons of videos so far without having to do that. It was just a very bad day yesterday. And then I watched this new video, which I will link down in the description so you guys can see what painting I'm talking about. Jessii Vee is doing her May giveaway. She does a whole bunch of these, and I watched it and I saw this painting that I really liked, that it's kind of been my favorite painting this whole time, but I didn't really know why. I just noticed that it really stood out to me, and every time I saw it, it had this sort of Harry Potter effect when I saw the painting of the snow falling on the snowy trees that had no leaves. I could see it move. I swear to you, I saw the snow falling, and the camera, your view of the painting, it was actually panning through the trees. But then, laid over that, I started noticing that I was seeing another snowscape. This one had realistic looking trees, and it had a very big snow-covered clearing between these trees. And I didn't really know what all this was about. So I went on with my day. I just figured, you know, maybe she thought of something while she was painting this, and that emotional energy was attached to the painting. So, you know, I asked her about it in a post, hoped she'd respond, because, you know, she mostly doesn't respond on YouTube. It's on her other social media that she responds to stuff. And I don't have accounts for those. I can't even figure out how to navigate them. If anybody knows how to navigate those, please help me out with that. Let me know, and yeah. Because I can't figure out Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Alright, so anyway, I was moving on with my day and just watching some other videos, posting to those, and then I went to go wash some dishes because my mom was going to be coming home, and I procrastinate, but I'm trying really hard to get it done before she gets home because she gets kind of upset when I don't. Anyway, so I'm in the middle of washing dishes, and I'm just noticing I am really dragging my feet for any kind of work. All I want to do is go back to the computer and bury myself in a video and just kind of forget about life. And I don't know why. I keep noticing that I'm feeling more and more jittery and anxious, and it's starting to remind me about this thing I went through a little while ago, where I was remembering about the last time I died in a previous life, and not ready to go into that yet, but I will at some point in another video. And I started wondering if maybe this fear thing I was going through the other day was me revisiting the feelings that I had the last time I died. It seemed kind of strange that that would happen, and I thought I'd already kind of dealt with that and gone through the whole process of letting go of it. Alright, so maybe I haven't. Thank you. Sometimes they talk to me just when I say something. I don't want to listen to it, but I still get the idea of what they're trying to tell me anyway. Alright, so I have not finished dealing with the issues, even close. Yeah, they gotta chime in all the time. Alright, so I haven't even come close to dealing with my issues from when I died last time, but I at least dealt with some of it, and I'm apparently done with that for a while. It is not ready for me to deal with again yet. So that wasn't it. But that left me with, why am I feeling like this? And I couldn't come up with anything until I kind of gave up on thinking about it, and I guess somebody whispered in my ear. That's usually what happens when I give up on figuring out the answer, and then all of a sudden it just comes to me. It's like lightning strikes, and there it is. It's because they whispered to me the answer when I wasn't expecting it, and they could get through. And they reminded me about this odd painting that when I saw it this last time during the giveaway, I actually commented that it was like the painting had a story to tell, like it was trying to say something. And you know, that's very unusual for an inanimate object. Inanimate objects don't usually have an opinion or words that they want to communicate with you. They don't talk to you. Living beings talk to you. And that's when I considered maybe there was a living being trying to talk to me when I looked at the painting. And then I started crying hysterically. And I realized that was the problem. Anyway, when I was crying hysterically, it's not because of anything I, myself, was feeling. It's because of what this ghost was feeling. They were sharing with me when they died. And I couldn't make out too many of the details, but I got the feeling that they were out in the snow and they were trying desperately to run away from this monster that was coming after them. And they died very, very violently. Felt very much like an end-of-the-world scenario, and I hate those. This is why I do not watch post-apocalyptic movies. I don't want to think that everything is over. That's just, I mean, I've been through that myself before. Everything was over. It's kind of a sore point for me. So I was mostly feeling her feelings, but also a little bit my own feelings from having to re-experience her death. I mean, I didn't even die and I'm having to experience a death. It sucks. All that fear and pain and knowing that you're losing everything because somebody's taking it away from you, I mean, it's really awful. So, yeah, that kind of ruined my day, but I was like, alright, so she is not going away. I need to do something about it. So I went back to the video and I looked at the painting, imagined the painting in a beam of white light so that I could try and get a better read on the situation, because when I was at the sink and thinking about and crying hysterically, all I knew is it had something to do with a death. I got the rest of the information when I stuck the painting in a beam of white light, and then I was crying even more hysterically. It amplified everything I was getting from this ghost and the painting. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that this was a young girl. I don't know how little she was. I would peg her as preteen. Maybe a teenager. I'm not really sure. She had this childlike sense to her, but she had more complex thoughts than a little kid. So she was young, but she was not that young. Anyway, so I'm picturing this painting in a beam of white light, getting all these feelings, trying really hard to get control of myself so that I can actually go on to step 2, which is crossing the spirit over. And it's a little hard to do when I'm being emotionally and psychically overwhelmed, because I need to concentrate on remembering where the other side is and feeling the white light come down and surround everyone and then bring her up into it. And, you know, it's a little complicated when your brain is totally consumed with, I'm dying! So, yeah, that took a little while, but then I was able to actually get her crossed over and reconnected to the other side, and oh my god, you would not believe what I felt. I mean, it was her feelings. I felt her feeling like she'd just been rescued from a deserted island that she had given up ever leaving. So it really overwhelmed me. And part of the reason for that is that I want to be rescued. I mean, I have been stuck here on this stupid planet for 30 freaking years, and I didn't want to be here to begin with. And this girl, she gets to go home. And I'm stuck here. So yeah, this whole experience totally ruined my day. She gets to go home and I'm stuck here on Earth, living in this stupid, awful place where nothing good ever happens. Everything hurts, everything is painful. The whole place is just one bad experience after another, and you're completely disconnected from everyone. I feel alone all the time. I am stuck. I can't move. Not the way I used to anyway. I don't feel free. And I have to live each excruciating, boring moment from the next. I can't move to the happy parts or the exciting parts or the interesting parts. I have to go through each and every single one of them, and it's just so awful. And I'm sick of it. I really want to go home and I just miss feeling connected to everyone. For a few brief moments, I've been able to feel kind of connected again. I visit the other side all the time now because it helps me to get through being here. I wish I could go home, and I keep being told I'm gonna be here for at least another 30 years. I'm not even halfway through yet. And I can't even frickin' suicide to get back there, because then I end up right back here again. Yes, that is the secret to suicide. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter how clever you are about getting somebody else to do it. If you suicide, or you just happen to die with the intention of exiting this life, you just end up right back here again. So it doesn't end anything. it doesn't save you from anything. And it definitely doesn't send you home. You just end up back here living another life that's going to be even harder than the one you left. So that is how they handle suicide. I was totally not expecting to have to cross over a ghost yesterday. But at least I helped somebody. She may have made me miserable, and it killed my day, but it saved her from years and years and years of misery while she looked for somebody else who could send her home. She was stuck here because she'd stayed for so long as an earthbound that she couldn't remember how to get home anymore. She couldn't remember how to cross over on her own. And being an earthbound, I'm going to go over in more detail in another video, but it's a really awful experience. I got a very short dose of it myself when I was on the other side and really scared about it, but basically your reality is what you believe it is. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever you're afraid of shapes your reality. So if you're terrified, or if you're convinced that something scary and awful is going to happen, guess what? It happens. That's part of the reason why people will have stories that start off with, I saw something in my room, or I saw something in front of me, it was a dark figure, and then it got scary. Well, yeah, it got scary because you got scared, and then it got scary. You made it scary. This is part of the reason why it's so important for people to know how they can protect themselves from the paranormal. Because when they're afraid because they have no protection, they end up needing protection. They end up causing a situation where they are in need of protection. One which would not necessarily have existed had they not gotten scared in the first place. I've been very lucky. I've always been pretty convinced that I can protect myself from things. I've always had it kind of buried rather deep into my mind that whatever it is, I should be able to take care of it. Even though I'm always afraid that I'm going to fail and awful things are going to end up happening, buried underneath that, I am kind of convinced that whatever danger I'm facing, I can protect myself from it somehow. I have to be good enough. I have to be strong enough. I have to have faith in myself and stick with it just long enough to win. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but I think it's helped me to not have quite so many scary and awful paranormal experiences. They've just mostly been weird. There have been a few dangerous ones, and those really sucked, but then I was able to do something to save myself from it. So then I kind of proved to myself that I really can protect myself no matter what it is. But yeah, I've had a lot of very weird, but not scary or dangerous paranormal experiences because deep down I know that when it gets scary, I can do something about it. I can always do something about it. I just have to have strength and have faith in myself and my strength. I'm sure some of you are now thinking that you don't have strength, and I am at some point going to create a video about that as well. I believe that everyone has the strength to protect themselves. They just don't necessarily know it yet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I feel a little bit better about the experience having been able to vent about it with you guys. It was very unexpected, but It makes for a good story time video, doesn't it? Alright, have a great day, and may the hauntings not be with you.